All right, what's going on, everyone? My name is Sherwin, and with me is Bro Dan, my brother from another mother. And we are in the Model Y studios, brand spanking new,
3 days old.
3 days old. But before we get to the Model Y, I want to talk about your Chevy Bolt. You have a Chevy Bolt. Can you tell us a little bit about the Chevy Bolt?
Yeah, 2020 Chevy Bolt, base model. Leased it, and it's time to turn her in a couple months in April. That's why I got this new spanking Tesla Model Y.
So the Chevy Bolt is a lease or
Yes.
purchase? It's a lease.
That one was a lease. Kind of eased my way into this technology. I had prior to that, I had a Chevy Volt with a V plug-in hybrid. Had it for a couple months. I had it for maybe a year or so. I turned it in early. I had some issues there, but Chevy took care of me, and that's why I eventually ended up with a Bolt.
So there's a Volt with the V. That's the smaller
That's
one.
smaller plug-in hybrid.
Plug-in hybrid. So it still did gas, and then it has battery, and then you have the Bolt with the B.
Correct.
Is that still the smaller one, or is that the
It's a little
mid-size?
It's a mid-sized one.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit, kind of like a hatchback, a little bit higher.
Oh, you got a phone call. Okay.
wife.
Oh, and I forgot to ask. What do you do for a living, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, work for Kaiser Permanente. I'm a buyer there. I'm a materials management. Just purchase stuff for OR.
Okay.
So been there.
So, what made you decide on getting that Bolt, the EV, your first EV? What got you into it? I don't think you commute far, right?
12 miles each
12
way.
miles?
So it wasn't too bad. Yes.
12 miles each way, but yet you wanted to get an EV. Why is that?
Sure. Well, because of my Bolt. My Volt, right?
Okay.
So I kind of,
So you're already halfway in, and is it like just curiosity, or you just
Yeah.
loved how your Volt was, and you want to just go full electric afterwards?
yeah, it's one of those things where I'm not getting as much gas, but it's time to eliminate getting gas. So it was nice with the Volt, having to fill in like maybe once every 2 months or 3 months.
Wow.
But you know what? It was time to eliminate it. It's full convenience of just jumping into a full electric. So, and plus, like I said, I had bunch of warranty issues there.
So were
recalls,
you-
bunch of recalls.
On the
On
Volt,
the Volt, had a bunch of recalls, and then at one point, my customer service with Total Chevrolet, if you guys are watching, horrible. So my Volt was stuck in their dealership for over a month, and there's this clause, right? I don't know if you know about it, your viewers know, but if your car is brand new, maybe 1 or 2 years old, and it's stuck or stayed in the dealership for over a month, you can actually claim void and warranty or something like that. So
yeah, it's
basically-
lemon law.
yeah,
Is
I
it
guess.
lemon law? Okay.
Yeah, something like that to an extent. But-
So
so 1 year in, I traded it. Chevy let me get out of my lease,
Oh, okay.
and that's when I purchased. I got my my money down from my Volt. That's when I purchased the Bolt.
Yeah, I'm
Kind of confusing.
a little familiar with the lemon law because our Model X has been in and out of service. Also, we've had a lot of issues with it, but thankfully, more recently we've been able to get it resolved. But it's just it's very time consuming. It's a headache. You
It's
can't
very
enjoy the car.
Yes.
And so you jumped onto the Bolt, full electric.
Full electric.
So there has been news about battery recalls. Were you part of that battery recall?
This Bolt, I thought Volt was worse with all the recalls, but this one right here with the B, I think there's at least 3 or 4 recalls,
Like,
including the battery, like just catching on fire, right?
yeah. So that one.
Yeah.
So is that all Bolt? So you were part of that?
I was
that
part
recall.
of it, but I never charged my car to 100%
Okay.
anyway.
Oh man,
It was always 90 or less. It's the fact that I don't commute too far
yeah.
from work, so
But you had the faulty battery.
supposedly, but I guess I never had that issue. Plus,
Okay.
I always charge outside.
Okay.
Especially since that news, since
Right.
that recall came out.
So then you do have a setup at home where you can charge it. Was that on a 110 or a 220?
Yeah, I have a level 2. So
Level 2.
220.
Okay.
Yeah, so 220. Yeah. So I have a charge point. I have a charge point,
Ah.
portable one where
Yeah.
you just plug it in at 220. Or take it somewhere else. But yeah, so I have that.
So with that same commute, how often do you have to charge? Probably
With the
not
Bolt,
much.
I'd say every 3 days.
Every 3 days?
Yeah, every 3
Okay.
days, and that includes just running around town, kids and all that stuff, activities
okay.
in school, pick them up, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, was there any other EVs at that time that you were looking at, or because you were already like
Yeah.
with the Chevy, I'm just gonna stay with Chevy and
Yeah, exactly. It was just it was streamlined pretty much, right?
Okay.
It was streamlined, just same company. But I did look at Tesla
okay.
back in the day, but 2020, just
Oh,
right
okay.
before the pandemic, uh, Model Y wasn't out yet.
No, there was only the 3 because I got my 3 December
Exactly.
2019.
So that was a no-brainer for me to go with the Bolt because it's a little bit larger, more room in the back, and yeah. So I wanted to wait for the Model Y.
Oh, okay.
So I had my eyes on Model Y back in 2020. So
Okay. And so you didn't really go on long trips. It's just local
No.
on the Bolt. It's just local traveling,
yeah, never-
taking the kids to their practice and their sporting events and stuff like that, just around town.
I will take it to LA Dodger games or Charger Rams games.
Bleeds blue right
Go
here.
blue.
This guy right here bleeds blue.
You should see my car.
We're gonna show.
It's blue. But yeah. But funny you ask. The farthest one was a few months ago. When we went to San Diego.
Okay, so San Diego is about
San Diego.
over 100 miles.
110 miles.
110 miles. Okay.
Yeah, no problem. Just charge each way.
So you have to charge. What?
Just. I didn't have to charge.
So you could make the round
I
trip.
could have made it because
So 200 miles.
200
It would have made it. Okay.
yeah, I would have barely made
Barely.
it. So, yeah, so-
I wouldn't risk it, man.
but I wouldn't risk it. It would have. Yeah, it would have been on like red. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have risked it. Plus, where we stayed at, they had free EV charging.
Oh, nice. So it's there anyway. Might as well.
Legoland. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We was there. Yeah. It's free too.
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, technically, right? It's already included in your stay.
Yeah. We was there. Yeah. So, you got the Chevy because you were already with Chevy,
Yep.
and your lease is about to go up, right?
Yep.
And then you're gonna return it, but then you decided, to get a Model Y. What led you to get the Model? Well, you said you were already planning back in 2020.
Yeah.
What was it? Is it because of
The third row.
size? So
there
did
was
you
room
get a
for-
seven?
I do have a
seater?
7-seater.
Okay, good. Okay.
You have to. I think if you have kids, if you have a family of at least 5 to 6, maybe 7. If you have children,
Yeah.
it's a no-brainer. It's not for adults for sure, but think about it. You're gonna have this 7-10 years. I have
Yeah.
a 5-year-old. I have a 7-year-old, and I have an infant.
Yes.
So they're gonna put that to use.
Yeah. Our first Model Y, Abby's Model Y, was a 7-seater. So, but
Yeah.
we rarely used it.
Yeah, exactly. Because
we
kids are grown.
we didn't need it.
There's four, sometimes 5, right? Yeah.
It was just one of those just in case things.
Just in case. This one, yeah,
Yeah. So
Mine-
AJ.
always the case.
yeah, especially with the infant.
Yeah.
So AJ, 9 years old, he didn't like it. He
Yeah,
didn't
it's
even have to.
crazy.
He didn't have to sit there. He didn't have to sit there, but he liked being by himself. But there's times like he wants to just sit in the
Yeah.
second row. But we just got it just in case. And
Just
so
in case,
we used it rarely, but it was just one of those things. But also that Model Y was like an in-between car because our Model X took over a year and we needed a car. We needed a car. But I ended up getting a Model Y, and I love it.
You got
I
a
love it.
Y, you got an X.
Currently we have the X long range and then my Y performance.
Yeah, that's a.
Am I on the other side?
So
Oh
obviously,
yeah, I am on the other side.
you sold the third row, right?
We sold the third row when we took delivery of the X, and then before that I traded my 3 long range for my Y performance. I didn't want to keep the Abby's Y because when we were buying it, I suggested,
Yeah.
I'm going to be careful with my words, but
Yeah.
I
she's watching it
suggested
right
I suggested to get the performance because we're probably not going to use the third row I think we used it like a handful of times.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those just in case things.
Yeah, performance would have been nice, but it's not available
Yeah.
for third row. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
wish.
So,
So, okay. I know you've only had this car for 3 days, but you've been driving the EV for a couple of years already.
yeah.
I don't know if you could answer this question, but like, what if you had to pick one
Sure.
thing that you like about driving an EV, whether it's your Bolt or the Tesla, what would that be? Just one thing.
Just not having to deal with dealerships, you know.
So we're talking specifically Tesla.
Well, Bolt too. I mean, I've never had. I mean, it's probably shouldn't be. Probably not a good advice, but and I've never taken it. I've never maintained it.
Well,
Yeah, I've never been in a dealership.
you shouldn't have to though. For the most part,
For the most
EVs is very low maintenance, so you
Exactly.
shouldn't have to.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's more of not dealing with the dealership
Just not having-
during ownership, not
Sure.
not just the purchasing.
Sure.
Because Tesla, you could just Tesla is the dealership, but they don't really care.
Exactly.
So there's no, there's no. Are you gonna buy it? Like there's no pressure.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, not having to go to dealership in terms of maintenance, right?
Maintenance.
Because you
Okay.
still have to go. You have
Yeah.
to go to dealership to get your stuff maintained. You can go somewhere else, but that'd be preferable. So
Mhm.
for me, that's the biggest thing. Obviously, next to economical. I
Yeah.
mean, I have a solar, by the way. I have a
Yes.
solar and I have a Tesla Powerwall. So it just makes sense. It just makes sense. If you have a solar, just makes
Oh,
sense
yeah,
to have
yeah.
your own gas station. own
Yeah,
gas
isn't
pump,
it? Isn't it crazy?
the convenience without having to go to the gas.
It's like you
station.
wake up and like I'm
Yeah.
ready to go. I don't have to go to the gas station. I'm good.
Yeah, you plug in when you get home and
Yeah.
plug out when you get out.
Yeah.
So convenience, I guess.
Yes.
My answer, my one-word answer will be convenience. It
Convenience.
covers everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So, opposite question.
sure.
What is one thing you hate about driving an EV?
Funny, there's none. Yeah,
Even with the Bolt, and then now with the Tesla.
none.
I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah. Get back to me on that one, Tesla.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. But you have driven the Bolt multiple years, and you can't say anything really bad about it.
Mm-mm.
You did mention recalls, and customer service,
yeah.
but
I never took it to the dealership with the
Yeah.
because I knew I was gonna return it anyway.
right.
So yeah.
Okay.
The Bolt is actually a nice vehicle. There's this YouTube video that basically this well-renowned YouTube artist, just compared why you should get a Chevy Bolt than a Tesla at that time. And
Okay.
at that time, my situation, everyone's situation is different. Everything checked the box, and it's a pretty.
If you remember that link, send it to me. And I'll try to put it in the description
Yeah,
below. So
yeah.
it's pretty interesting. Okay.
Pretty interesting. I mean, it was pretty interesting. But Bolt is a great piece of car, just minus all the recalls. But hey, I mean,
Yeah.
there's everyone's babies out
There's
compared to
no
Tesla.
perfect car. There's no
Compared to
perfect
Tesla.
car.
Yeah,
So
compared to Tesla.
right.
And my car hasn't gone on fire, so knock on wood.
Okay. And so my other question is, what other cars you've owned? You have a Sienna, right? A minivan.
Yeah, Sienna, old school RAV4, Beamer.
You have a RAV4?
Yeah, we had a
know that.
2001 RAV4. Yeah.
Okay.
That was my wife's car when we got married. That's what she had. And then a Camry. Obviously, everyone has a Camry. Asian.
Yeah.
You have to go through a Camry. And if you want
We
to
were,
go,
we
old
were on the
school-
Honda. We were on the Honda side.
If you want to go old school, I had a Honda Civic,
So everyone had a Honda.
souped up Honda Civic rice burner. So. Yeah.
Okay.
Name it.
All right. Cool. Well, now here's my surprise question.
Sure.
If I came to you
Mm.
and I said, Dan, I got you, man. I got you.
Mm.
I'm gonna buy you
Yeah.
any car. It doesn't matter how much it costs. Any car,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Hybrid, EV, gas,
Sure.
tank,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care how much it costs. I'm gonna buy it for you.
Yeah.
What would it be?
Oh, Model X.
Wow.
Give me a Model X. You know, give me those Falcon wing doors and a bigger size cabin for my kids.
So
That's all they want. That's all I want.
owning a Model X, I am gonna warn you that
Yeah.
it might be like a bolt where there's a lot of
Hey,
issues.
I'm getting it for free, so I don't care. I'm
Okay.
getting it for free.
By the way,
Beggars can be choosers.
hypothetically, right?
Hypothetically, yeah.
So interestingly
Yeah.
enough, you are my fourth person doing these videos,
Big
and
Model
and I asked that question. It's a surprise question because
Sure.
I didn't want you guys to be ready for it.
Sure.
All four,
X.
not well, the one did,
Okay.
but all four wanted an EV.
An EV. What's the other two? What are they?
So my niece said, "Oh, I want the Model X you got." I'm like,
Sure.
really?
Sure, sure.
So then I started saying, you don't want no Bugatti, you don't want no Ferrari, Rolls Royce, nothing like that. And then I said AMG. It's like, oh, you know what? I'll take an AMG G-Wagon. I'm like, okay. So now that I started,
Sure. Yeah.
But just without giving any other samples or whatever,
Yeah.
straight Tesla. Her mom, my cousin, Model S Plaid.
Yeah, that's a nice one too.
So, and then a friend of mine who I just interviewed, he had a Nissan Leaf 2012,
yeah.
and then now he has a Prius plug-in electric truck.
Cybertruck.
He didn't give me a specific
what?
one.
Cybertruck would have been a second.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I guess to me what's interesting is you chose an EV, and I even said gas, hybrid, EV, space shuttle, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But you went to an EV. So I think I don't know. I'm gonna be doing more of these interviews. And it's just very interesting to me that is it like once you get a taste of having an EV, like you just don't want to, you know? I don't know. I
mean, I think so. I mean, here's the thing, man. If I'm gonna purchase over 100K or 200K or a Lamborghini, right?
Yeah.
If I purchase a Lamborghini, I'm still have to go to a gas station. I'm still having to get a freaking oil change. I mean, if I'm gonna pay that much for a car,
Yeah.
I better be convenienced the heck out of.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about EV, and I'm just glad.
It's like you got your own thing in the garage.
I got my own shop in the garage.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever I see Mercedes-Benz, I mean, I just kind of smirk or laugh inside because they still go to the gas station to still get oil change.
Okay.
Just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I used to
Sorry if you guys drive those type of vehicles.
one of my dream cars,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna do a video about these dreams, right? Was like a Ferrari. I don't know the exact model anymore, but they switch. First, it was a Lamborghini Countach because of the Cannonball Run movie in the 80s. Oh man, I just love that car. And then it switched to the Ferrari, the one on Bad Boys, the one that Will Smith drove.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it is, but when I bought my Model 3 long range,
Yeah.
I'm like I'm fulfilled. I'm satisfied.
You got
If
the
it was
speed, you got
yes,
the speed, you got the everything.
if it was the speed that was after, if that was what's drawing me to like the Ferraris and the Lamborghinis, if that was what was drawing me, my Model 3 gave it to me.
Yeah.
And ironically, I outgrew it.
Exactly.
Like in a matter of maybe 2 weeks,
Yeah.
that I'm like, okay, this is played out now, and I'm just gonna conserve as much electricity.
Yeah.
But like I think I got it out of my system.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. Not to say that from time to time, I punch it, whatever, safely.
Yeah.
But it's just knowing that I could, but then it's not like I'm gonna do it all the time.
Exactly.
So I think I got it out of my system. But yeah, from time to time. But
And
yeah.
don't forget about the incentives. That's one of the reasons why I got into EV, and they still do. They brought some of it back.
Yeah.
And the fact that the government, the state would pay you to get into this type of car, it's a no-brainer.
I look at it as a like a cheat code.
Cheat code all day. If you,
Nah.
yeah.
Not everyone can relate, but until you own it,
I like that. I like that.
not everyone can relate until you own it, until you experience it. But just sharing, going back to one of my nieces, the answer she said about one thing that she didn't like was the upfront cost. But she turned around and said, but as soon as I was able to drop that cash and got over that hump,
Sure.
it's like, man, the money, the amount of money, because she also commutes to San Diego. She commutes. She's in Temecula area, so she drives over 100 miles, close to 200, because she travels around different places. And so she's saving a ton of money.
Yeah. So you're talking about like a 6 G's down Tesla required?
Yeah, just the initial cost of just getting into one. I mean, these are like 50 something, man. I mean, even with the price reduction, it's still a pretty penny, dude.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just to get your monthly down to a comfortable amount, you either gotta drop a good load, or you just pay the minimum. But man, monthly, it's gonna pinch a little bit.
I mean, unless you compare it to the same class, same luxury cars, no brainer.
Yeah. But if you're thinking about, well, what was my monthly car payment before? Add on the gas, add on the maintenance, add on the time. If it equals out, I mean, in my opinion, it's worth considering. It's worth considering.
The worst case scenario is you're even
out,
but
yeah,
with convenience on the side.
Yes.
So
yeah,
exactly.
But so far it's been pretty interesting with these videos.
4 out of 4. You're batting
that surprise question.
You're a Hall of Famer, man.
It's all been EVs. Oh man. Okay. Man, I thought I was gonna get you guys, but
nope.
You guys are getting me with those answers. I'm actually surprised. But thank you, Dan, for spending some time with me. Thank you for sharing some insights as an owner. And that's really about it. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, please like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And thank you for watching.